There's something about a haunted house story that really connects with kids. Hi, my name is Jonathan, and this is Mr. Pearson Talks Books. I'm a third grade teacher who loves to read middle grade fiction so that I can help my students find good books to read. I have a review is The Last Resort by Erin Entrada Kelly. Now, you may know the name Erin Entrada Kelly because she recently won the Newbery Award for her book, The First State of Being. The Last Resort is a story about a girl named Lila who has two goals for her summer. She wants to have a drama-free summer, and she wants to win back the friends that she lost because of so much drama. And then she gets the tragic news that her grandfather, who she's never actually met, has passed away. And so her family has to spend the summer in Ohio taking care of her grandfather's final affairs. And she doesn't want to do this. She wants to stay home and try to repair her friendship, but they have to do it. And because her father is afraid of flying, they are going to be driving across the country. Now, as they're driving across the country, as they're going to Ohio, something happens and Lila has a near-death experience. She was playing on her phone, she dropped it, and while she bent down to pick it up, she had to take her seatbelt off in order to do that. When she bent down to pick it up, her father slammed on the brakes, she collided, and thankfully she wasn't hurt. But things started going differently. Strange things started to happen afterward. She began to see people that weren't there. The family finally gets to Ohio after their very exciting cross-country trip, and they discover that the grandfather owned an old inn. He owned an old bed and breakfast that seems to be kind of run down. And as Lila and her brother are exploring, Lila is seeing people that just aren't there. They're random people. Nobody can seem to see them. They appear and then they disappear. Well, one night, one of the people that appears and disappears to Lila is her grandfather, Clem. And he doesn't realize he's dead and why he hasn't passed on to the next life yet. But it comes to find out that the reason that he hasn't passed on yet is he has unfinished business because somebody murdered him. And now it's up to Lila and it's up to Teddy and her brother to figure out why the ghosts aren't passing over to the next world and who it was that was responsible for Grandpa Clem's murder. There are some great aspects to the story, things that if you are a parent or a teacher, you might be interested in knowing. First off is the character of Teddy. Teddy was a true friend to Lila, even when Lila wasn't a good friend. There are times when she snaps at him and she is ugly to him, but Teddy is always there as her friend, always there to help her through this. Another aspect of this story is that it is a horror story. There are ghosts involved, so you can call it horror, you can call it thriller, maybe spooky. There are real tensions here. There are some scary moments, but it never becomes overwhelming. And I think that that has a lot to do with Miss Kelly's ability as a writer. She has this ability to convey things, make you feel that tension, but never completely overwhelm you with them. And this is a great story to share with someone who is experiencing some fear, because one of the aspects of the story is that everybody is faced with their greatest fear, whether that's birds or dogs or flying or whatever it happens to be. They're faced with that in the story, and they have to overcome that. There are a few things to be concerned with. Like I said, this is a spooky or horror book, so there are some pretty tense moments with the ghost. There's some talk of a murder. Obviously, I alluded to Grandpa Clem's murder, but there's also some other murders that have taken place in the past that relate to the ghost. So that is something that you might want to keep in mind. There are, like I said, there are some scary moments, but it never becomes overwhelming. So overall, this is a highly readable book. There's great readability. There's a lot of fast pacing. There is never a time where the book drags. So if you are a teacher who is looking for a great addition to their library, if you're a librarian who's looking to see whether she picked this book up or not, or you're a parent who is looking for something new for your kids to read, I would highly recommend The Last Resort by Erin Entrada Kelly. It would be great for October and spooky season. Lots of people like to read books then. But because it takes place during the summer, it is a summer vacation book. This might be one that you would pick up over summer vacation as well. The Last Resort by Erin Entrada Kelly. It is going to be published on September 2nd by Scholastic Books. And as always, my name is Jonathan. This is Mr. Pearson Talks Books, and we'll see you next time.